I want to crochet.
Hello, welcome. My name is Mama Shelly, and this is Fantastic Yarns with Mama Shelly. You've stumbled across my crochet website here. This is a place where we talk about crochet, a little bit of knitting, and mostly yarn sprinkled with fantastic tales. That's why I call it Fantastic Yarns, because you see what I did there? A little bit of a tail yarn. So I know this isn't where you buy yarn. This is where we're going to talk about yarn, and we're going to talk about some crocheting, and we're going to talk about me and my life and what's going on with it. And I hope you'll join us and stay for a little bit. How long have I been crocheting? I've been crocheting about 15 years, maybe longer. I learned when I was sick and I was in bed, and my husband's mother lived with us at the time, and she's an amazing crocheter, amazing. She can do anything. But as she was getting older and older, she couldn't crochet anymore because it hurt her hands to do so. And so she taught me how to crochet, and being the way I am, you'll see here as you start to see things that I've done. I don't start with like a hot pad, you know, and she wanted me to start with just a little square. And I said, no, I'm going to start making a blanket. And she would come in and teach me how to do just single crochets. And it actually turned out to be a good thing, because I crocheted this entire long big blanket with tons of different yarns. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't understand yarns. I didn't understand what yarns you should use. They didn't go together. They were all the same color way, but there were some boa type yarns. There was some just worsted weight yarns. There was acrylic yarns. There was mohair yarns. All different yarns that didn't really go together. And it would just break my heart. She would come in and she would just rip out the stitches. Oh, that's a good job. Now it's starting. And I would just be like in shock, saying, but that just took me so long to do. And you just ripped it all out. Oh, I started to not want her to come in at all and see my work, because it wasn't good enough for her, because she'd been crocheting for forever, and she was such a good crocheter. And I made this blanket, and it was probably about a king size blanket. I don't have it anymore, but it was oblong, lopsided. You tried to fold it, and there was no center. There was no way you could put it in half and half again. It would just be all one way long and one way short, and it was the way I learned how to crochet, because I wanted to make something that I would feel proud of and that I would feel was worth my time to do. And so that's how I start things. That's how I do things around here. That's the Mama Shelly way. So in September, I decided that I wanted to learn how to knit. So do you think I started with just a little swatch? No, I decided that I was going to knit a cardigan for my daughter-in-law. And so I did that. This is what I did. This is my very first project. And it has mistakes in it. You can see there's a hole right here, right there. I must have dropped a stitch. But this is how I taught myself. I just started with the ribbing, and I just started knitting the back, started down at the bottom, started knitting the back, and this is my knitted cardigan. I have some sleeves in the other room. This is a hood. So this was a pattern from, let me make sure I get the right person in here, Mama in a Stitch. She has hundreds and hundreds. She's a really great crocheter and knitter. And this is called her knit coat pattern, and it has pockets in the front. Now my daughter-in-law is super tall, and if you can't tell because I'm sitting down, but I'm super not tall. I'm 5'3", and she's 5'10". And my husband, my husband's very tall. He's 6'7", and so we make a lopsided crew there. And the yarn that I used for the knitted thing was this one right here, Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, in the color Rouge. And I'll give you the specs on that by putting on my specs. so I can see it. Let's see, it is a super bulky 6. They say to use an end hook, 13 9mm. It's 106 yards in here, or 97 meters. It's a 6-ounce ball. It's 170 grams. And so this is what I used for this knitted project. And I used probably 8 balls, 8 hanks, skeins, whatever you want to call them, of these. And then, this is what's on the floor. I decided I was going to cover up all the holes with some flowers, and so I crocheted a bunch of flowers. And but then I just couldn't figure out how to make it work, and so I haven't given it to her yet. And I just moved on. I moved on from knitting to doing some crocheting, and yeah, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm a mother of 4 kids. A girl, boy, and they're all grown and married, every one of them. And the oldest has 6 children, so I have 6 grandkids from her. They're ranging from ages of 13 to 2. And then I have the next son is Adam. The oldest daughter is Jessica, and she has 6 kids. My son's name is Adam, and he's the next one, second child, and he is married to Emmeline. They have one beautiful little baby boy named Wesley, and he's 11 months old right now. And then I have a beautiful daughter, Haley, who is married to Dallas, and they don't live nearby. They live all the way out in New York. So I have a grandpuppy from them, no grandchildren. And then I have my youngest son, Aaron, and he's married to Mariah, and they live close by, about 4 hours away. They have a grandpuppy too, only he's not a puppy, he's a horse, part horse as far as I'm concerned. He's 90 pounds, he's about this tall, he's a Labradoodle, no, Golden Doodle. Sorry, you should know your own grandpuppies, yeah, Golden Doodle. And he's very well behaved. He's a great dog. And my other grandpuppy, so that I don't get in trouble, is Link. And he's a combination of things. Some people might call that a mutt. We like to call him a combo. He's got a lot of different things in him. He's a cute little, about medium-sized dog. And they've had him for, I think, 3 years now. So, yeah, he's been around for a while. Let's see. Wanted to tell you about... it's just my hubby and I now here at home, and I work full-time and he works full-time. We love to spend time with our family, and I love to crochet and knit, and I love yarn, and I don't have anybody to talk to that about, so I thought I would open up my camera and talk to you guys about this stuff, and find other people out there who want to talk about yarn, who want to talk about crochet projects, who want to care at all about that, because nobody here cares at all about that. My husband and I met down in Southern California. We met at Cal Poly Pomona at their Institute program, which is a program that they have a building there for religious study, and they had a nighttime activity where they had people come and watch kung fu movies and eat Chinese food. And we were both invited by other people that I didn't know. And I didn't go to that school. He didn't go to that school. We were invited by other people to go to that event. And I was sitting down. He always says I was sitting down, so he didn't know how short I was. And he was making his way around all the girls and talking to everybody. And I was sitting by myself. I come by myself and just was invited by somebody. And he came up to me with his friend, and we started talking, and it was a great conversation. I don't know if you noticed, but my skin is a little bit red. I have severe eczema, allergic to everything under the sun. And so at the time, my skin was really red, and he asked me, it was in January, and he asked me if I had been skiing. And I had not been skiing. I didn't know how to ski that well. So I just said, no, I've been to the beach, because in Southern California, you could be at the beach in January, and they would believe that. So I didn't want to go into the whole, like, oh, I have bad skin. Nobody wants to be doing that. So I said, no, I was sunburned. And so then he invited me to go to a dance that they had that night at another building where they would have dances every Friday and Saturday night. And so went home, changed, and got ready, and met him at the dance. And we just had a great time, wonderful time. And I gave him my phone number, and I just knew he was going to call me, because we hit it off so well and everything was going so great. And he said he had to get up early the next morning, so he wasn't going to go out afterwards and get something to eat. And I went out afterwards to get something to eat with some other people and another boy that I was interested in as well. And he went home and wrote in his journal, and he did not write about me. He wrote about another girl that he had spent time with after we had separated and gone our separate ways that night. And but joke's on her, because I ended up with him. We've been married now for 34 years, so I'm the lucky one. But the point was that I went home and I told my family that I met a guy and that he was going to call, and this was going to be a good thing. And he never called. He never called and never called. Another week went by, he never called. I just couldn't believe it. And so went back to the dances that they had back in Southern California back in those times, and went back there and I saw him, and I thought, okay. So I walked by, and he didn't notice me because he was flirting with a bunch of other people and girls and things. And I walked by and got a drink and went back out to the dance area. Then I walked by again, and he still didn't notice me. So then I made another point of having to walk by, and then suddenly he saw me. Oh, Shelly, how are you? How you doing? And so then we got to talking, and he asked me to slow dance, and I just had to know. So I said to him, why didn't you call me? And she's stuck dancing with me, slow dancing. And he was just, And it turns out he lost my phone number, and he always says, because he's a charmer that way, he always says that he didn't think he had a chance with me anyway, because I was too pretty for him, and that's not true. So he just lost my phone number and gave up, I guess, because in those days we didn't have the internet. We didn't have any way to reach somebody that way. You could look up in the phone book if you'd known my last name, but I'm sure you forgot about that too. So yeah, that was our first night of meeting, and then our second night of meeting. And then we never left each other's side pretty much from that point on. We would every day find some excuse to get together and see each other. And within 6 weeks, we were engaged. And the rest is history. We have the 4 children and the 7 grandchildren and the 2 grandpuppies. And that's the beginning of our story. I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to go through some works in progress that I have, some whips that I have. I had decided about a month ago that I would make a cardigan for myself, and I haven't done that, and I haven't made myself anything. I always make it for other people, and so I started this cardigan. It's obviously in progress. This is one of the sleeves, and then I ran out of yarn. So I started other things and haven't gotten back to it yet because Christmas snuck up on me. I did that after I did the knitted cardigan. Then I did this, and I used Basic Stitch Anti-Peeling from Lion Brand in the color of Deco Rose. And let's see what the specs are on this. This is a number 4 worsted weight, 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable. There's 185 yards in here, and 2.5 ounces and 100 grams, and 170 meters. And you should use it says an H hook, 5 millimeter. And I used pattern for this one was TL Yarn Crafts, and I'll link this down below when you can look at it there. It's her Kima Cardi pattern, and it's a really easy, really good, great. I think it's going to be really cute on me. I love this color, so that's one of the things that I've been working on. And then Christmas started, So I had to turn to the grandkids and start making scarves. So I made scarves and hats. Let's see. We've got this one right here. This one's going to one of my grandsons. And all these patterns I just made up myself. I just think of crochet stitches and I just do it myself. So I don't have a pattern for this. We'll talk about it later in another video. I'll show you what I did and I'll do a tutorial for it. And this is a hat that I did also. Same thing. I just did the basic, round circle thing and then did some double crochets, and I can talk about this more in detail later too. So this is the hat that I made to go with him. This is his favorite color, so that's why this color. And let's see, I used Caron Simply Soft, and let's see what the colorway was. Ocean. It's called Ocean. It's 315 yards per skein, 170.1 grams. There's 288 meters. It's a worsted weight medium 4. It says to use a 5mm hook and H. So that's what I used for that scarf. And there's that one. And then the 2-year-old, I made this hat for him. This should be good. Oh, I didn't finish doing putting in my yarn. That's good. I found that today, so because I need to finish that before I send it off. And then this is his scarf, and it's just, I went around it with single crochets, and it's double crochets and single crochets worked together on the same. And I can go over that more in another video as well. So this will be his, and I used Woolies Thick and Quick. This is such a great yarn to use. I love using Thick and Quick because guess what? It's thick and it goes quick. Aptly named. And so this is the River Run is the color. Let's see, it's a super bulky 6. It's 5 ounces, 140 grams, 87 yards, 80 meters. And it says use an end hook, 9mm. And yeah, it feels great against your skin, and I think it took me no time at all to do this. I love working with that yarn. And then this is for my son-in-law, Dave, and this is a very long scarf because he's tall too. He's 6'4", 6'5", one of those. He's tall man. And I used Hometown, Lion Brand yarn, Hometown. And this is a super bulky weight 6, 4 ounces, 113 grams, 64 yards per skein, 59 meters, and it says to use an end hook. And I can explain what I did on this scarf in another video, so stay tuned for those. I'll go through these scarves more in depth than I am right now. This scarf is so long because, like I said, he's tall. And I love this. Oh, I didn't say the color. Sorry about that. Color is Riverdale Tweed. I love this tweed. You can see the flecks in there. And this green's his favorite color. So we did that one. This is for my oldest granddaughter, and the 2 oldest grandkids are twins, and so girl-boy twins. This is her scarf. I decided to put pom-poms on the end, so that's fun. And then I didn't make her a hat, instead I made her ear warmers. That's really easy to do. You just keep crocheting around in a circle. I can go into more depth about it, but this is just a simple double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and you just keep going around and around and around, and then it makes this nice little weavy pattern. And so this was for her, and I used Lion Brown Hometown again, but this is her favorite color. It's I don't know what color this is called. They call it Portland wine. She describes it by using a bunch of color names, and I just showed her the color on on a picture, and she said, yeah, that's the color. So it's Portland wine. It's a super bulky 6, like I said, 81 yards, 74 meters, 5 ounces, 142 grams, and it says to use an N hook, 9 millimeter. So this one worked up real fast too, and I love the little pom poms. Now, of my grandkids, I have two girls and 4 boys in this family, and then 1 boy with my son. So let's see. This is my other granddaughter's scarf. She loves mint green. So I did this scarf and put the pom-poms on it too. So that's fun. And let's see. Is this the right yarn? No, this isn't the right yarn. Where is that? This is Loops and Thread in the color mint. And then I made her a nice ear warmer as well. This is the yarn that I use is left over here, and I can't find the information on that. I'll have to get that to you when I go over the scarves a little more in detail. Then my other grandson, this is his favorite color, is this color here, and I used Loops and Threads acrylic, impeccable. It's a medium worsted weight, 5 millimeter hook. This is called Aruba Blue. And let's see, it's machine washable, warm, permanent press, do not bleach, tumble dry, low, gentle cycle. It's got 285 yards in it, 4.5 ounces. And this is the pattern that I came up with on this one. I can go into more depth in a future video, but this has got some front double crochets and things. So that's a fun one. That going into one of my grandsons. And then another grandson, his favorite color is bright red. So I don't usually use red in my house. I'll tell you about that another time, but he loves red, and I haven't woven in my threads yet. So, but this is his. And I haven't done a hat for him yet, so I need to hurry and do that. But hats don't take very long. They're not that hard to do. And this one I did some baubles on it, a bunch of baubles. I can go into depth into that on another video, so look forward to that. And I used Bernat Softy Chunky, Yarn Inspirations Bernat Softy Chunky, in the color Berry Red. And it is a super bulky 6. It has 2.5 ounces in each skein, 108 yards, 99 meters, and they say to use an L, 8 millimeter hook on these. So that's what I used, was an L. So I think I've shown you all the works in progress that I've done and all the things I've completed. Oh, one last one. Is this cardigan that I've been working on. I just kind of dropped the pink one and started this one because I saw this yarn, and oh my goodness, I just had to have this yarn, and it was so inexpensive and I couldn't believe it. But this color, it's my favorite color. This is so amazing. And so I'm making, it's from you work your way from the bottom all the way around and down, and so I'm doing that. It's kind of hard to understand where I'm at right now, but let's see, this goes like this. Yeah, this is the sleeves that I'm working on now. Anyway, I'll go into more into depth into this one, but the pattern that I'm using for this one is MJ Off the Hook, and it's called her Lakeside Cardigan, and it can be made shorter or longer, and I'm making it kind of in between. And the yarn that I use for that I found at Walmart, and it's just their Walmart brand Mainstays sparkle acrylic yarn, and it's just beautiful. You can just see the light reflecting off of all the sparkles in it. I just love this so much. It's in the color teal, and let's see what the specs are. 251.53 yards to be specific. It's 5 ounces in the skein. It's a medium worsted weight, 4, and it says to use 5.5 millimeter. And on this one, you use 5.5, and then you use a 5 for the ribbing, so that you get that better. So that does, the ribbing is tighter. And that's a trick you learn as you go along. But it's not something you know about at first, so it's something that you learn as you go along, that maybe you need to make the ribbing tighter. So yeah, this is a thing that I'm working on right now that I keep doing in between my scarves and trying to get that done. So, well, wanted to say thank you for being with me tonight, and I really appreciate you coming and watching this video, and we're going to have lots more for you in the future, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you'd like, and hit the like button, and goodbye, and thank you very much.
That was awesome! He has a crochet! That's my grandma! That's my grandma!